The Conservative Party has decided to remove the branding on a video that attacked the ethics breaches of the Prime Minister and his cabinet and was designed as a parody of one of those Canadian heritage minutes. The video was entitled "Liberal Scandals, Part of Our Heritage." Historica Canada, which produces the Heritage Minutes, complained, and the Conservatives temporarily pulled the ad down, but then reposted it with a disclaimer noting the video is not associated with Historica Canada in any way. Then later, on Monday, the Conservatives announced they would remove all branding, saying they did not want to draw negative attention to Historica Canada. Now, before the Conservatives removed that branding, I spoke with the president of Historica Canada about his concerns. Mr. Wilson-Smith, good to see you again. Before we dig into this Conservative parody issue, what do we need to know about Historica Canada? Because that's important for the context of our conversation here.
Sure, Peter. So we're a non-profit registered charity. We reach about 21 million Canadians through our programs every year, of which we offer about 7 or 8, including the Minutes, the Encyclopedia, and a bunch of others. Everything we do is offered in both official languages. Pretty much everything we do is offered for free. And our real essence as an organization, and that's key here, our bread and butter is that we are absolutely impartial, non-partisan, and we're all about offering fact-based, non-partisan information.
Right, and people who watch CPAC have seen the Heritage Minutes on this channel. What's the Conservative Party done here that's unacceptable to you?
Well, first, we don't for a second believe that the Conservatives set out to hurt Historica or the Minutes, but, in essence, when you start slinging mud, as they have in this, there's a byproduct that eventually sticks to people around, and we're collateral victims on that. It's kind of a drive-by. Because everything we do, from fundraising to the programs we offer and education things, relies on that nonpartisan appearance and fact, the moment that we are dragged into a political scuffle of this nature and people associate us in any way with it, we have a problem. We've already seen today on Monday issues with some people who contribute on monthly fundraising plans coming back to us and saying, "We never thought you were partisan. We saw that. We think it's terrible. We're so upset." You spend years building up that kind of relationship, and one misconception in 60 seconds blows it all up, and sometimes you never restart.
Right. So I mean, some people might suggest this is a thin skin issue, but we should point out, I mean, you don't typically object to Heritage Minutes being used in parodies, but what is specifically different about this one?
There's a very significant, and one of the Conservative talking points is such, and there are people have raised, is saying that, you allow all sorts of parodies, and there's some already up on your site that are critical of us. There's one crucial difference in everything we do, and that's that this is the first time, to our knowledge, that one of the 2 political parties that have governed Canada pretty much every year since Confederation has used us, has done a parody of our ads for straight political attack ad. Never happened before, and for us, that crosses the line.
The Conservatives have issued a disclaimer at the top of the ad now to let everyone know it's not associated with Historica Canada. Why isn't that good enough?
Well, initially, of course, we had, and we were very, frankly, we were very pointed about saying there were copyright and intellectual property issues. We plan to investigate them. This does address that, but it still runs this, the fake minute still runs absolutely counter to the spirit of everything we do. As I say, the Minutes, we think a large part of their success is that they're seen as fact-based, as not having an axe to grind, not bringing a specific point of view, and this does the exact opposite of that. So it just casts them in a very bad light. So
what do you want from the Conservative Party then?
Well, again, we don't believe, we're quite confident they do not mean us ill in this situation. So what we'd like to see is that, is them say, we understand we put Historica Canada in a very difficult position. We're going to delete this, immediately as a measure of our faith in that. We do regret that we have done that. And if we get something along those lines, then we're quite happy to drive on and, and resume what's been a very warm relationship. They were very supportive of the history sector and us in particular during their time in office.
Okay, so what if you don't get that from the party then? What if the party says, look, too bad, so sad, the ad stays, and then what?
Well, if they did, then we would have to continue to investigate other options. There may still be legal, but I'm deliberately saying that as a later. I'm sorry, my phone is making some noise.
Right.
We'd rather not look into legal options. We'd rather just say resolve this because we think they don't mean us harm and they're looking to see if they can resolve. We'll know in a day or two, I guess, if we have to go past that.
All right. Anthony Wilson-Smith, Historica Canada. Thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Peter.